Quebec 4, Kilo Quebec 4, Whiskey Hotel, over.
Kilo Quebec 4, Whiskey Hotel, is that a Roger?
That's Roger, and I got your Kilo Charlie 9 question mark?
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, KC9VKV. I just moved from my local antenna to the Milford, PA SDR, and I've got you, looks to be about 8 over, Roger.
8 over, Roger. And yes, sir, that was your suffix was Victor Juliet Watt. The static crashes are really bad here today.
Roger. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Roger.
9 Victor Kilo Victor. Roger. Roger, I got you now. One of the questions I was going to ask her, the static crash is unusually terrible today. I'm like at a S9 on the 80, 40, and 20 meter band, over.
Roger that. What's the name that way?
Roger that. What's the name that way? The name here is David. And I'm located in South Carolina, over.
Roger, David. Well, you're right on those crashes, man. I usually, Milford, PA, and Rochester, New York, really are great SDR locations that I count on quite often to, help me as far as bringing signals up as I go around. I have a 6-position rotary input selector, which is 4 SDRs and my local radio audio, and so I'm constantly going around the horn there, just comparing signals. It usually takes me about 3.5 to 4 seconds to sample 6 different options and come up with the right one for the moment. And even those have a tendency to change even as we speak, Roger.
Roger on that again. Like I say, I've got almost a S9 of noise on 80, 20, and the 15 meter band, real noisy today. Or excuse me, 80, 40, and 20, real noisy. But you've got good audio coming. I'm coming back to you barefoot right now on a Yaesu FT990 with the MD 100 microphone. Running the ALC up to the top of the blue and just a very slight hint of compression, over.
Roger, David. Now, what we normally suggest is running your compressor at about a 3. Run that compressor at a 3. It's not a bunch, but it does exactly what it needs to do. You don't want to be hearing that cow moo in the South 40 when you take a breath. So a 3 is just the ideal setting for that compressor. And then after you get your compressor in there at about a 3, move to your ALC. And what you want to do is use your mic gain control to adjust your ALC reading to where it's running mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC by way of your mic gain control. Roger?
On your ALC by way of your mic gain control. Roger? Copy. I don't know if you've got a good enough signal report on me to give me an audio report back, but that is real close where I'm at now, over.
Roger, and it looks to be exactly where you're at because your dynamic range is a 3 dB, which means that your average percent of peak modulation is running between 80 and 85%. That's average percent of peak modulation, which is a nice fat signal, Roger.
Percent of peak modulation, which is a nice fat signal, Roger. Copy that. And what did you say to look for on YouTube to find these audio links later, over?
Roger, go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. We're running about 1,160 some odd Qso-Vlog recordings at the moment, but you'll be looking for one in particular, and it's called My Group AIRCHECK 6/19/20. In My Group AIRCHECK 6/19/20, which is today's date, Roger.
My Group AIRCHECK 6/19/20, which is today's date, Roger. Copy that. I'll live that a look. What kind of noise have you got today? My noise is at a S9, and you're at about a S10, so I just barely can copy you. Over.
Well, gosh, you're 10 dB over the my Georgia SDR location. You're 10 dB over the Georgia SDR noise level. Roger.
dB over the Georgia SDR noise level. Roger. Roger that. Yeah, I got a S9. When nobody's talking, I got a S9 of pure noise, which seems really high today. Over.
Roger. Now, is it coming and going, or just consistent?
Roger. Now, is it coming and going, or just consistent? It's consistent, and it's on 80, 40, and 20, about the same. A solid S9.
Roger. Now, what is your recovery time on your AGC? Are you running a fast recovery time or slow or what?
Are you running a fast recovery time or slow or what? Automatic, over.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, well, you know, what I was going to tell you before when I was talking about Milford and Rochester SDRs is it does sound like Milford and Rochester are in the middle of a lightning storm. A lot of QRM impulse noise static. Roger.
QRM impulse noise static. Roger. Yes, sir. We do have some storms in the area. There's some pretty big storms with a small radius of me. Over.
Roger that. Roger that. Yeah, I think about either last week or the week before, man, Milford was just getting bombed by heavy lightning strikes, and I was just thinking, man, I sure wouldn't want to be in Milford. Of course, then it came to me that most of the hams in Milford have already pulled the plug and disconnected their antennas, and they were hiding under the bed. Roger.
Disconnected their antennas, and they were hiding under the bed. Roger. Roger that, and I'm sure there's some other folks who want to talk to you, so we can wrap this up. But what is your schedule on being on here? And maybe I can catch you on a day when the QRM is lower. Over.
Roger. I think most normal days is slower than what it is today, but we run this Qso-Vlog net on Friday afternoons between 3:30 and 5. We're just on Friday afternoons between 3:30 and 5. Roger.
Just on Friday afternoons between 3:30 and 5. Roger. Copy. 3:30 and 5. All right, sir. I don't want to hog it up the whole time. I appreciate your time and appreciate you being there. And I'll say 73s to you, and I thank you for your input and your audio report, and put you in the log here in a minute, and I'm sure you have some other folks who would like to speak to you. 73s, and be safe with COVID-19. This is Kilo, Quebec 4, Whiskey Hotel. Over.
Roger, Roger, David. 3's that way, sir. Thanks for checking in. If you get a chance to join us next Friday afternoon, we do run between 3:30 and 5, record all the time. So, we'll be looking for you if you have the opportunity. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and the Qso-Vlog net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.